Me now, Sarah Weiss-Mahmoudi, senior Israeli diplomat and legal advisor at the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Jerusalem. Sarah returned in August to Israel after a 5-year posting at the UN in New York, where she served as a senior advisor to the president of the UN General Assembly. Sarah, welcome back to the show. Good to see you. So the New York Times, I mean, generally known to be they're not really sympathetic to Israel when it comes to war in Gaza, and even prior to this, but for the Times to reveal the details of their investigation, very thorough, what does that do?
I mean, I think, first of all, and I saw you have a legal background as well, when we're looking at the Times piece, you know, we really see, they showed on a map, actually, 7 different areas where there were rapes that were, you know, the test of international laws really is it's systematic and widespread. And when you're seeing in parallel 7 different sites where women are being purposely raped as part of sort of the war plan, this is clearly a mass atrocity crime. It's a crime against humanity. And so, you know, the Times piece comes after many other pieces, I will say. Also, you have to give credit where credit is due. CNN has reported on it. Washington Post has reported on it.
Exactly. But I guess the question is, I'm wondering why the UN is not doing more. I mean, because what could the UN do if they chose to?
I mean, I think first and foremost, when you're looking at the UN, you touched on it at the end of your introduction, the inherent bias against Israel. And really, like UN Women, part of their mandate is preventing violence against women, all women, including Israeli women. And so when you're a head of an organization and you're not fulfilling your job, you're the CEO, you're not fulfilling your job, or the Secretary General is seeing that one of his main officials is not doing her job. And by the way, in UN Women, it's not only that they're not doing their job. I don't know if you saw this, but a senior woman in the organization was actually actively tweeting and advocating against Israel. Her name's Sarah Douglas. And so when you're seeing that they're not doing their job as they should, which should be objectively and, you know, in unbiased way and in a balanced way, I mean, something has to change, right? Like, and I think this is something that's not just with UN Women, but many UN bodies. When we're seeing this in the Gaza war, of many of the UN bodies really taking a one-sided approach and not reporting, be it on women and these horrible cases of rape, be it on Israeli children who've been, thousands of them, displaced from their homes, many orphaned, many victims of violence and brutality, and that's not being reported. When it's not being reported that Hamas is committing war crimes against children, something has to change. And I think that the international community, first of all, has to demand that people that are appointed to carry out mandates for women, for children, need to do their job. And if they're not doing their job, they need to go. And the donors who are giving funding to, let's say, UN Women, need to demand. It's just like a corporation. If the CEO is not doing their job, the CEO has to go. And the organization has.
It bothers me because, I mean, there's something, it's a noble cause to advocate for the rights of women, whether it's the situation in Ukraine, whether it's Boko Haram, what's been going on there. I mean, these are noble efforts, but the fact that when it comes to Israel, it's just different and there's qualifiers. It's so transparent that I'm glad we have an opportunity to call it out. Sarah Weiss-Mahmoudi, I wish we had a little bit more time, but thank you so much for coming on to talk a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Jesse, and Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to the viewers.
A healthy Happy New Year.
It should be a more peaceful year.
Yes, I hope you're right.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.